Alrighty, we found the most shocking billionaire interview from More Perfect Union. Oh boy. Let me see what the billionaire gotta say.
One of the most powerful people in America seems to think that inequality doesn't exist.
What's the difference between a billionaire and a guy who's making $100,000 a year? They're both at home watching Netflix.
Oh, are they now? That's interesting. Because I'm not making $100,000 a year. Okay.
And they're both on their iPhones, and they're both, listening to the same music. The disparity between how rich people live and how poor people live in America has never been small.
It's never been smaller. Wow. I would love to hear I would love to hear him elaborate on this more. Like, you can have that opinion, but why do you think that is?
Jeff Yass is a mega billionaire. He's the richest man in Pennsylvania. And he likely pays a smaller percentage in income taxes than you do.
We're
Probably.
almost at a point in America that everybody has all the stuff they need. No one's hungry, no one's cold, no one doesn't have some basic health insurance.
No. I mean, so another thing that pops into my head, I don't know if he's actually being truthful and genuine, or he's just doing like the rage baiting thing because it's not enough for him to have a bunch of money. He wants to get like some sort of clout or famous notoriety shit for having like this fallacious I don't know, interview because he said some crazy ass shit. So I'm not sure if he's being genuine or if he's just making rage bait comments. There is has he never been to like a poor part of any city in the United States? No one doesn't have some basic health insurance. I know tons of people that don't have health insurance, dude.
No one doesn't have some basic health insurance.
Yass makes his money by squeezing a cut out of the everyday functioning of the stock market.
Oh.
Profiting off not only his own speculation, but everyone else's too. And his methods for saving on his tax bill and his entire...
This is actually like a really weird image to me because a lot of the people that like are just at my job or whatever, they're not like the most technologically advanced people. They all got like smartphones and shit and know how to like access the internet, but to have all of your computers, like not only do you have like 3 triple panels or not 3 triple panels, this is an entire room of triple panel monitors, because these are like widescreens as well. They're not like your standard 27-inch or 24 or 27, was it like 32 and then 34 and then I think it goes up from there. These are like widescreen. They are also tilted to be in portrait mode. Probably to look at the same Excel spreadsheet or whatever the fuck they're looking at more easily. This is just like, this is weird to me. I know this might seem normal for some people that are like in the industry, but to me, this is like it's kind of cool, but I don't know dick about ass about any of this shit that's going on.
business are legally questionable. And he uses the money he saves to exert influence over our tax code.
Since last year, the moderate PAC has raised...
Oh. I guess that's what he thinks everybody is doing. Is everybody exerting pressure into their like local tax codes? I mean, to some degree, that's kind of true, but for like any one single individual to exert so much more pressure than any one other person, like, come on. Okay, what is this? This is like TYT, the Young Turks. So I know about this like YouTube channel, but I never like really watch it, but I know of it. A GOP billionaire funds Democratic PAC. I don't even know what a PAC is, looking to stop progressives.
It's just over $1 million, all of it from a single donor, billionaire and co-founder of affiliate investment firm Jeff Yass.
Yass is a billionaire investor in ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, and Trump is seeking his support in the presidential race.
Billionaires, come together, support me, give me your aid, billionaires. Bro, like, I can only imagine. I don't even think I can imagine what it's like to have $1 billion, dude. That is so much money, and to think that it's a part of like some elite club where, oh, you somehow stumbled, and I say stumbled, you stumbled into $1 billion somehow through whatever means, some system, you made a business, it started to pop off, whatever, and now all of a sudden you are part of the billionaire club. Whether you want to or not, you are part of the billionaire club.
He's one of the highest spending political donors of the past decade, spending millions over the past few elections bolstering right-wing candidates.
Okay. So he's exerting pressure, he's exerting influence. Probably much the same way everybody else is. That's a billionaire, probably. That's a billionaire, probably. That's a billionaire, probably. And this list goes on and on. He is just one person, all right? I don't think it's fair to single out one person. He probably just made the mistake of showing his true face. He's revealed his trap card, essentially.
And this year, he's donating even more. He's going to be the highest spending political donor of the 2024 cycle.
Oh.
Yeah, a guy most Americans have never heard of is exerting more control of...
Well, of course. Outside of like your usual suspects of like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, who else? The head of YouTube lady. Who else? I can't really name any other billionaires, dude. Like, come on. Because why can't I name them? Because once you reach that level, and I would say not even billionaire. Once you reach like, I don't know. I mean, I can't really speculate because I don't even got $1 million. Like, once you reach the point where you're not really working like from paycheck to paycheck, you don't really want anybody to really know how much money you have. That's why you can kind of sense, or at least I do. I can sense when someone has like a lot of money, and you know how there's like a thing where it's like, oh, don't ask people how much money they got or how much money they made last year or whatever. It's like impolite. It's like, okay. It's like, what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to fucking like find out how much you make and then mug you? No. At least that's not my like mental thought process, but that's the thought process of some of these people that make like ridiculous amounts of money. And I don't know, I don't know if this is just like it's not really I can't say it's an intrinsic thing, but it's like you can kind of feel when you should stop talking about how much money you make. It's just a feeling. And when that occurs, actually, I don't really know. Probably the moment you hit like, what is it, like 75K is like the point where like most people are pretty happy. Like anything past that, it's like diminishing returns on how much happier you are. Like, oh, I made 75K, I'm pretty happy. Oh, I made 100K. okay, my happiness went up a little, but not by that much more than it was from like 50K to like 60 or 70K. And then maybe I made like 100K, and then the next year I made like 200K. Well, it's like, okay, I'm like, I'm pretty set, and it's not like that much more money is going to make me that much more happier. Like, that's not how it works. I don't know. Maybe it's like happens like way sooner. Maybe it happens when you start making like a couple $100,000. Maybe even less. But I know for damn sure, like, once you have like your own set amount of money that you can call like, I got fuck you money, there's like a thing that goes off in your head. Like, anytime you start a conversation and you start talking about money or whatever, you quickly figure out how to like steer the conversation away. Like, oh, okay. Let's just not talk about that, because I don't feel like talking about talking about how much more money I have than you. That's just a thing.
Over our future than any other single individual. So we need to look hard at how Jeffrey Yass got rich, what Yass wants, and how he plans to get it.
The classroom.
People often derisively compare trading on the stock market to gambling, but Jeff Yass wouldn't take that as an insult.
We think the analogy between being a poker player and a trader, the same kind of decision-making theory, is very similar.
At SUNY Binghamton, where he went to college, Yass was a big-time gambler. Yass was really into the math of gambling.
Right.
Trying to figure out guaranteed wins, and he applied that to...
Well, there's your problem. You can't figure out guaranteed wins in gambling. If that was even possible, then it wouldn't be gambling. Gambling is all about odds, chances. If you're playing like a blackjack or whatever, you have a whole plastic, I don't know, tray of like 15 boxes of cards. And the only way for you to like have like an educated guess is to stay there from the beginning of the tray. So that way you can count all the face and tens cards. So that way you could have like an educated guess on how many more are left in there. And even then, I would say most people can't even fathom, like can't even figure out those odds.
His work in investing. His math and gambling Bible was a book called Getting the Best of It by David Sklansky. Yass liked the book so much that later on, when he was in finance, he offered the author a job at his firm. Sklansky declined, but...
So, this is something I've noticed with people. And gambling is a hobby that people with money usually engage in. Usually, all right? This isn't like a hard and fast rule. Like sometimes, you know, you could be like only making like 20, 30K or whatever, and you still gamble trying to like, you know, fucking, oh, I gotta buy like 20 lotto tickets so I could just get out of this shithole like everybody else. You know, but I would say more likely is the case gambling is a hobby of someone that has some excess money to whatever degree, for the most part. And when I say gambling, I mean like casino type gambling, card games, not the stocks or investing in like some thing, or, you know, because, you know, like you could easily say like, oh, I'm investing in this business, it's a gamble, and like that's a little disingenuous of an argument. When I say gambling, I mean like card games, slots, casino games. That's what I mean when I say or sports betting. That's what I mean.
Noted of Yass, he doesn't enjoy taking chances, but he does enjoy taking advantage of opportunities. He likes to gamble when the odds are in his favor. Yass and his friends combined gambling and finance through the 80s. One associate said of the similarity with investing, quote, "We did well. Basically, if you know how to gamble, you can do it," end quote. that ignores one major difference between gambling and investing. A poker hand or roulette spin, unlike an investable asset like a company or a commodity, doesn't represent millions of jobs. It doesn't represent access to medicine or food. In gambling, the winners and losers are only winning or losing for themselves. In investing, the wins are tied to losses of people who didn't even know they were playing. The workers at the companies being bet on, renters trying to find an affordable home, and people who participate in the economy at all.
True. I mean, shit, to be honest, there's probably like some big billionaire in Florida that is gambling on something in the city that I work in, the county or whatever that I work in, and I don't know about it. And if that guy gambles wrong or bets wrong, I have no idea how that's going to affect me.
In 1987, Yas and some of those same friends applied their knowledge from gambling and trading and founded Susquehanna International Group.
Susquehanna itself is the pioneers in options trading. And options trading is all about sort of estimating volatility edge. How did you guys look to recruit out your team? What were the things, the attributes you looked for?
Before you become a trader at Susquehanna, you learn how to play poker. So we have a couple of months training in poker.
More than regular trading, options are all about gambling. And options traders can make exponentially more money than people just buying normal stocks because they can wager a much smaller amount, ostensibly betting the stock will go up or down without owning it. An options trader buying calls isn't actually buying the stock in question, but rather the right to buy that stock at a certain low price. So if the stock goes down, they only lose the cost of the option. If it goes...
I have no idea about stocks or options or calls or whatever. This is like... Whoa.
Up, they can buy it cheaply and make a ton of money. A put is similar, but with the right to sell the share at a certain price, even if it goes way down. But they can just continue to hold it and again, only lose the price of the option.
All of playing poker, all of options trading is making sure you're betting against someone you're smarter than.
The same year Susquehanna opened, Yas made his first long shot bet. A newly introduced option, one based on the value of the 100 top stocks. Yas noticed that puts on that option were incredibly cheap and bought them up. The same year,
they called it Black Monday. By 4 p.m., the market had dropped 508 points, the biggest plummet since the crash of '29.
Oh, dang.
Susquehanna made millions of dollars on Yas's big bet. Of course, many other people suffered, and the crash was largely blamed on options trading. And Susquehanna was one of the biggest options traders. Beyond their own trades, Susquehanna also works as a market maker, which, at risk of sounding conspiratorial, but this is pretty much true, are the people who control the stock market. Market makers like Susquehanna, Citadel Securities, and Jane Street are where most stock trades go through, even if you use Robinhood or any other retail trading platform. That means they have more information than anyone else, control the availability of shares, and influence prices. To bring back the investing is gambling metaphor, Yas and his company aren't just the gamblers, they're also the casino, the house. And the house always wins, right?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you.
Been practicing your speech, haven't
A
you?
little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed
No, it's
it.
good. I like it.
Making taxes work
Yas
for
and
them.
Susquehanna's wealth grew incredibly fast. ProPublica reporting shows that by 1996, Yas made $71 million. By 2005, he made at least $1 billion in income.
Oh,
It's
dang.
not just Yas. For most of the 2010s, the heads of market-making firms were among the top earners in America. The people with most control of the market made the most money. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Dang, I never would have thought, man. That's crazy.
And then, another financial crisis, 2008. Again, financial speculation is largely to blame. And while Susquehanna did lose money in the crisis, Yas himself lost nearly $500 million, everything turned out all right for him. And because Yas personally reported losses, he was even able to get a $2,000 child tax credit on his personal taxes. All of that public assistance, the portion of the bailout and the 2K, ending up with Yas is ironic, considering his main political beliefs. Deep-seated libertarianism, hatred of government programs, and most of all, a total aversion to taxation. Yas only pays 19% in income taxes. That's far less than most Americans.
Well, he knows all the laws, I would assume. He knows all the... I can't really say loopholes because he's not doing anything, like, against the law. I think. Maybe he is, I don't know. But, I mean, hey. How are you going to blame the player for playing the game? If you want to change the game, vote somebody else in. That's what I would like to think. But seldom I think that happens.
Also far less than his peers, those other guys making billions of dollars. So how does he do it? I spoke with Jesse Eisenberg at ProPublica.
My colleagues and I obtained his taxes, and we found something profoundly newsworthy. So what he's doing basically is using a technique to transform short-term capital gains into long-term gains, and
okay, short-term capital gains, trades under a year get 40% taxed, and then long-term capital gains, trades over a year, 15% tax. Okay, I get it.
Term gains are taxed at a much
Yas should pay
much lower rate, 15%.
What Yas actually pays.
Short-term market gains are taxed at a higher rate than long-term gains. So Susquehanna will, according to...
So what is he doing? Is he, like, transitioning, like, a trade into, like, a long-term thing? So that way he has to pay, like, let's say he's, like, his goal is to make, like, short-term money. But, like, when... I don't know how like the months or the time is like lined up or whatever. If the time comes when it's that cutoff point from short into long, he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna transfer into like long term, and then what? He has to do like something. He'll probably, I don't know. Does he like transfer it into like some sort of like long term thing? But then if you transfer it into a long-term thing, you have to pay like some fee. And then I don't know what. Does he sell it afterwards or some shit?
ProPublica reporting, make two bets that should move in opposite directions, and then when it's about to become a long-term investment, sell the one that's down. Then a day later, sell the one that's up.
Oh, that's what he does. He gets, is this part of like what, like the same industry or like competing industries? Let me like try and hear this again.
Taxed at a higher rate than long-term gains. So Susquehanna will, according to ProPublica reporting, make two bets that should move in opposite directions, and then...
Okay, he'll buy two stocks that he is betting that they will move in opposite directions. So as this will probably be, this is like some big brain shit, because you're like trying to like read the economy on like a minute scale. Like, what is this? Like, is like, let's say the first stock is like gas and oil, but the second stock is like, I don't know, electric vehicles or some shit. You would think as one goes up, the other one would go down. That's like kind of, you know, logical. And then
when it's about to become a long-term investment, sell the one that's down.
Okay.
Then a day later, sell the one that's up.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. ABC, always be winning.
That obviously makes no money, but they generate two valuable commodities.
Oh.
Short-term losses and long-term gains.
you can see that he's got a partnership, an entity that always produces losses for him. For a wealthy person, losses are incredibly valuable. Losses are actually something you can use to offset gains into much more lucrative kinds of gains.
A 40% loss offsetting the 15% gain equals profits. I guess in some world, in the stock world, this makes sense, but Jesus Christ, man.
That are taxed at a lower rate. Experts have said to us, this is something that should be audited.
Yas tries to claim that he shouldn't have to pay taxes because income inequality doesn't exist, and people like him are actually helping.
The left came up with this idea of income inequality. It's like, what are you talking about? It's just the opposite. Only capitalism will mop up those last billion people so they can live healthy lives. And it's not.
Hey, I'm just waiting for capitalism to come mop me up, dude. Mop my ass up in capitalism. Capitalism, save me. I will sit here and wait 5 lifetimes over for capitalism to come mop the shit out of me, dude. Damn. I would love to hear, like, again, like why he thinks this.
Not going to be good intentions. It's going to be people trying to make money.
It enlightens what Yas does with all that money he's saving, because he does kind of give it away.
Oh.
To politicians dedicated to protecting his own financial interests.
Oh.
He's one of the 2 biggest funders.
Oh, he wants to help the people that are going to help him. Ah, I get it. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. Alrighty. It wasn't out of the kindness of his heart.
Of the Club for Growth, an extremist pro-business interest group.
Yo, can I join that club? I want to grow. I want to stop working paycheck to paycheck.
Club for Growth backs anti-worker, pro-corporate, anti-tax politicians across America. And to be clear, when we say anti-tax, we mean anti-tax for billionaires and big business. In their ideal plans, your taxes will stay the same or go up.
Dang it.
This election cycle, Yas is basically the sole funder of the Moderate PAC, a political spending group focused on donating to Democrats, which seems weird, right? But let's look closer. They're focused on spending in primaries where there's a progressive candidate and a centrist candidate. In Yas's home state of Pennsylvania, they focused on attacking Representative Summer Lee, who has a 100% pro-worker rating from the AFL-CIO.
Summer Lee has a different agenda, an extreme socialist one, defunding the police, attacking President Biden.
She was the only representative in Western Pennsylvania to vote against a Republican-led debt ceiling bill that cut funding to the IRS in a way that made it easier for the rich to evade taxes, cut corporate environmental regulations.
The rich. Dodging those taxes since day one.
And made it harder for low-income people to get food.
She even voted against raising the debt ceiling so she can become a media star of the far left.
And his donations get even more granular into what benefits him specifically. Yas hates public schools. He's obsessed with school choice. That's the corporatist idea where instead of funding
pro-charter school PAC with 20 million has big plans for Pennsylvania governor's race. So what? He wants to eliminate public schools and have more, what, pro-charter schools? Aren't charter schools like more expensive? Or maybe what? Would the charter schools be like, just like, would these new ones like just cost less or something? Maybe I'm like missing something. Like Montgomery County billionaire who made his money on Wall Street has spent tens of millions of dollars on pro-charter school candidates in Pennsylvania over the years, has donated 12 million to a political action committee that now has more than 20 million to spend. Okay. But for like regular ass people, like how much is like an average charter school versus like an average public school for like their kid? It's got to be like different. Like the charter school has to be more, right?
In public schools, parents would be given vouchers that they could use at the private school of their choice.
Oh, they get a voucher. Oh. Okay. Billionaire spent over $1 million trying to defeat public school champion in Philly mayoral race. Maybe I'm missing something. I have to be missing like a piece of the puzzle. So like if you fill out like a form and it says like how much you make, you live in this area, in this county, in this place, but then there's like a new charter private school opening up, you can potentially get a voucher for what? Like for your kid for like how many grades? Or is it just like for the next like 1 through 5, 6 through 8, and then 9 through 12?
He thinks public schools are a huge waste of money, specifically attacking,
Well, I think most people would have an opinion on public schools. I went to a public school, and I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. Yeah, there probably have been like some people that have like been able to pull themselves out of the muck of mediocrity through public schools, but shit, man. Yeah, public schools, ugh.
exorbitant public school teacher salaries.
Average school teacher
What? Exorbitant public school teacher salaries? What's the average fucking salary of a public school teacher? Wasn't that shit like 40, 50, 60K or something like that? Depending on like what state they're in? What do you mean exorbitant? Any one teacher of any subject in public school has to look after I don't know, 15 to like 25 students. Are you kidding me?
Philadelphia with benefits makes $117,000 a year.
That
Okay. That's not the what'd he say, that was the average?
Exorbitant public school teacher salaries.
Average school teacher in Philadelphia with
Average school teacher, public school teacher in Philly
benefits makes
with benefits
$117,000 a year.
Philadelphia. Is that like a richer state, or I know that's like a northern state? Bro, I am so close to just fucking Googling all this shit to just oh my god. So it's understandable that if he wants to sell his point, obviously he is going to want to use a state that is like a higher income, because do that same thing in like any of the southern states. Like just draw a line across the United States through the middle, all the southern states. Let's see what the average school teacher makes in all of those southern states. Let's see if it's the same. I doubt it.
That, by the way, is about 0.001% of what Yas makes every year. This would just be funneling money to private institutions with limited enrollments, including schools Yas and his wife are financially tied to. So instead of a teacher making a fair salary, that number he mentioned includes benefits and retirement. Wealth would be transferred to...
Oh, it included benefits and retirement. Oh. How many people that are public school teachers actually follow through with the entire, I don't know, how many years, like 20 and out, 25 and out, 30 and out, whole retirement pension thing? Do you think that's a majority or a minority?
Charter schools, religious institutions, and rich kids going to expensive private schools. It's so blatantly corrupt that even network TV sitcoms are roasting it.
There's an online petition a couple of our parents started to make Avid part of Legendary Charter. They take our funding, not to mention the private money from wealthy donors with ulterior motives. Weird cash swirling around. Don't threaten me with a good time. Oh, not every student in the neighborhood could count on attending Avid if we turn charter.
Yeah, Abbott Elementary is in Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure. So that is directly about Yas. And we haven't even gotten into his most intriguing investment.
A lot of people on TikTok that love it. There are a lot of users. There's, a lot of good.
Susquehanna is a major investor in ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok. The TikTok ban was originally a Trump thing, until Trump suddenly changed his mind after a meeting with Yas.
Thank you very much, Pennsylvania. God bless you.
Yas says companies shouldn't be involved in politics, just making money. But Yas is Susquehanna and makes major donations. And Susquehanna itself is also making political donations. Yas says
everyone is living almost the same life, except
no. I can't think of a more bonehead statement than this. This is so out of touch. This is like the difference between like a hand in front of my head and a hand behind my head. Oh my God.
that rich people have jobs they like and poor people have jobs they don't like.
But another difference is that only the rich can game the system to get even richer.
Oh. Didn't want to include that little point. Did ya?
If you want to support more journalism fighting corporate greed, please don't forget to like and subscribe, send this video to your friends, and if there's something you want to see us cover, throw it in the comments and we'll try to take a look.
Dang.
Powerful people.
I mean, I was kind of here for like the bonehead statements that I knew he was gonna like whip out, but there was a lot of talk about how this dude made money and shit, which is fine. But I mean, who am I to criticize? Really? Like, honestly, if I was in that dude's position, I'd be doing everything within my power to keep all my money and to keep making more money. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be doing exactly what he's doing. I am no saint either, by any means. But then again, at least I wouldn't go around moralizing and virtue signaling that, oh, everybody lives about the same life. Rich people got a job they like. Poor people got a job they don't like. Anything besides that, they're pretty much living the same life. And for him to think that 100,000 is like poor. Oh my God. Oh yeah, no one is hungry or cold. Yep, he actually said that. Yeah. Like, if you're gonna be an asshole billionaire, fucking commit to it. Don't go around saying dumb shit like no one's hungry, no one's cold, everyone lives about the same life, and all this other shit. When you say shit like that, you look so out of touch, it's ridiculous. You're not winning over anybody. You're not winning any popularity points with those kind of statements at all. Oh, man. But, I mean, hey. I mean, it is what it is, man. This is just part of the game. I mean, I'm too retarded to play the game, so who am I to complain about it? So, overall, good video. And, bro, like, the two YouTube, like, I love watching, like, More Perfect Union. Because I think I get, like, slightly more educated when I, like, watch shit like this, or, like, more videos from, like, these guys. Yeah, I just like these videos. They're a nice break from, like, the normal video game movie, TV show, aim train shit that I watch. And I don't know, it's just nice. I really like them. So keep it up, man. And can't wait to see the next one. Other than that, good stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.